Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Great CEO Podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Pivnik, and today I have with me Ryan Clark from PeopleShare. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, I like the title. Great CEOs. Didn't realize I was one, but
Yes, you are, and welcome to the podcast.
thank you.
If you don't mind, just tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about PeopleShare.
Yeah, I founded PeopleShare January of '05. So just past 18 years, and we're a pure staffing company. And most people in staffing are concentrating on technical staffing, and that's really cosmopolitan or executive level staffing.
Sure.
We just concentrate on administrative, clerical, office, and light industrial. Those are the people that really keep your company running.
Sure. No, it's definitely good to have a differentiator in a crowded space. So I'm speaking about differentiators. I'm assuming there's others that do similar things. How do you differentiate yourself from your competition?
Yeah, that's a question I love to ask vendors that try to sell me something. Hey,
Okay.
you're a payroll service. What makes you different? And 99 out of 100 times they don't have anything.
Sure.
We actually have three distinct differentiators.
Okay.
Number one, we have more offices in a concentrated area. So what we tell people, I'm in the Philadelphia area. We're the largest company in the world, staffing company in the world. In Philadelphia, we have more offices in a concentrated area, whether it's Chicago or Pittsburgh or Philadelphia, Virginia Beach. We have more offices that blanket that area. Second one is we actually meet every candidate that we place 3 times.
Okay.
Most companies just either send them sight unseen or they meet them 1 time. We meet them 3 times. And then the last thing is when we send over a candidate for review to our client, we send it over in Microsoft Word, but down the bottom, we put a hyperlink on the resume. It's just like a YouTube link. You can click on that and you can watch a pre-recorded 90-second video interview of our person.
Nice. Those are great differentiators. I see how that definitely makes a difference. So being in the staffing business, I'm assuming these are typically, one-time projects or one-time assignments that you get. Does your company have any recurring revenue?
Absolutely. So you're right in the fact that a lot of times they're just hiring somebody for a project, and maybe it's seasonal. But if you had to break down our revenue, it's probably probably about 70% that's temp to hire.
Okay.
And the remaining 30% is direct hire. And with the segment that we're in, which is administrative, all the non-exempt level roles, it's a high turnover job. So they're always needing it. So I looked it up last night. About somewhere between 92 and 93% recurring revenue from 21 to 22.
That's amazing. So it's not necessarily contractual recurring, but it's reoccurring revenue in that your customers continuously come back to you for more and more positions.
You got it. We have an agreement in place, but it's a non-exclusive agreement. So we do a good job, they're going to call us again, and vice versa. If we don't, they won't. So we're really incented with every placement to make sure that we're providing great service.
Makes sense. So from a growth perspective, what would you say your number one constraint is? Like if you were to address that constraint, you'd be able to grow faster than you're currently growing.
Yeah, Stephen, I think that there's an epidemic in this country of salesmanship.
Really?
It's so hard to find. People talk about the skilled trade. People don't know a trade, whether it's plumbing or electrical or mechanical. I think another trade out there is salesmanship. And I think there's so few great salespeople out there. So that if we could find, we've got some really great people. We could clone them. We could be $1 billion company overnight. But it's just tough to find the salespeople, but they need to be great salespeople and they need to be great leaders. So that's a tough combination. But that's the one thing that's keeping us from continuing to ramp, is just finding those really good salespeople.
Got it. Well, maybe you can find a good staffing company that can help you on that front.
We use them. That's not what we do. We concentrate on the clerical, and we pay fees for all of our salespeople. They're worth their weight in gold to us.
No, 100%. I could not agree more.
Yeah.
So, as CEO, how many hours a week do you typically put in, and how do you spread your time?
I've heard and read many times that the best CEOs work the fewest hours. They're
Right.
just master delegators, and that's a skill that I have not mastered yet. Working on it. So to answer it bluntly, I'm probably putting in about 55 hours a week.
Okay.
And I certainly work hard, but I think I could be more effective and doing less administrative work. There's only three things that I think you should be doing as a CEO: people,
Sure.
promoting people, patting them on the back, the people aspect, chief sales officer, closing big deals,
Right.
and third and finally, strategy. And if you're not doing one of those three things as a CEO, you're not using your time effectively. So I'm getting better at that.
I get it. So there's a great book called Great CEOs Are Lazy. I won't give you a spoiler alert, but it goes to your point in terms of the best CEOs work the least amount of hours because they concentrate their time on the things that are most important to their business.
I've heard of that book. I think my partner in this business could have written that, and I mean that in a complimentary way.
Sure.
He's a master delegator, just really good with people and strategy, but he doesn't spend his time on non-critical things. So I probably need to read that book.
Good for him. Yeah, so speaking about delegation, I mean, a lot of CEOs have a hard time delegating, and it's an incredibly important skill to have. In the last 6 months, can you name like probably the biggest thing that you've been able to delegate to others on your staff?
So we have a tremendous COO at our company. Her name's Tiffany, and being able to unload marketing, risk management, customer service, quite a few departments to her. And these are the departments that really take a lot of time on the administrative.
Sure.
And it's really setting up a process.
Hmm.
I would say that offloading a lot of responsibility to Tiffany, and really she's been able to generate and design a process better than I. So
Okay.
I would say that that's been a big thing for me.
That's great. It's awesome to have a right hand person like that to offload and delegate things to. So, as with your role as CEO, how would you define like two things that are central or unique to your specific role within the company, or as CEO, I should say?
Yeah, I'm not sure that there's anything that's truly unique about what I do. But I would say, one of the biggest challenges is really just finding people that are cultural fits. And our culture is a very tough one to fit in.
Sure.
You need this incredible sense of urgency, but you also need to be able to be accountable for metrics, and metrics. So with that level of pressure, you got to work fast, you got to work hard, and you got to put up numbers, and be great with people and be collaborative. Like that's the that's the quintuple factor. So really just trying to define our culture and really to define the people that are going to fit into our culture. That's probably the most challenging thing. And that's the most unique thing about PeopleShare is we've got a crazy culture in a good way, but it's certainly not an easy place to work. So, that's why I'm so appreciative of the people that do work here. I know how hard they work, and
Sure.
don't mind being accountable to the metrics.
Nope, I totally get it. A great culture is totally priceless. It's priceless. So kudos for creating that type of culture. So it seems like you're running 100 miles an hour. What do you do outside of work? What do you do for fun?
Yeah. Even though I do work a lot, I feel like I have a lot of playtime too. So, even at my advanced age, I'm still playing hockey once, twice a week.
Oh, nice.
And the league's getting younger. You see kids just getting out of college or coming back, and playing with those guys. So I can still keep up with them, but more Advil and water ski. Be on my boat as much as I possibly can.
Fantastic. Staying active is really, really important. That's good for you.
Yeah, and when I see people that are struggling with health issues and the stress in their job, those two are absolutely interrelated. So Yeah, being able to stay healthy and stay in reasonably good shape. Yeah, you need a lot of energy to do this job.
Yep, I could not agree more. Could not agree more. Well, great. Thank you very much for joining us today, and wish you the best.
That's been great. Thanks, Stephen.
Take care.